let's just put it this way, that you will earn a living by working hard. You will become financially comfortable by working smart, but you only become wealthy by networking. Right. Until you master the art of networking, wealth will be far from you. It's despite your hard work, despite your being a genius and being creative and good, people get arrogant easily. Our business can puff you up if you're not careful. You see people, because now suddenly you never believe in your life, you can touch 10 million cash. Now your company is doing 1 billion a month, 5 billion naira in a month. It just gets into your head and you don't know that you have just started. And realize it's a long-term journey. It's like real covenant with your clients. If you don't think 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead and you're proactive and you are evolving the business so that you're constantly there, right? And you are asking mentors, what are the challenges when we go through in this business model in the long run, right? So that you're providing solution, you will run into trouble. Whatever you think you are saving in not getting a mentor, I promise you will lose times 1,000. I guarantee. And a lot of us Nigerians don't know this, right? That when we have challenges, we're unconsciously wired to blame other people, right? It is witches from the village, it is people from my family's house, And I had gone through all of that season too, because I had a business crash in 2012 that landed me in debt without borrowing money. I represented a university in Hungary. They didn't give the applicants admission. They came after me. They want their money back, and it was so terrible. The fact that I took responsibility, I realized there is not any witch doing it. It's not any wizard. I need to market. I need to take this thing headlong. More people need to know about my product, and that was the change. So I realized you have to just manage certain caliber of employees until you rise to a level. Right? Yes. Because at some point you can't really attract the best talent because you don't even have the funding. You can't pay them the kind of salary. The office ambience is not attractive. Okay? I mean, you are in my office now.
Yes.
Even the location in Ikoyi will attract certain people. Just that is in Ikoyi. Right, compared to where our offices used to be then. Now I'm realizing, and I encourage younger entrepreneurs, say, look, this thing is in phases. Just get the best out of certain caliber of employees you can attract. Because when your business is still low, you attract some of the most loyal employees, passionate employees. Some of them won't mind sleeping in the office for your business. Right? When your business gets to a level, they may not be as loyal, but they are more skillful.
What is the most amount of money you made in a single year that has transformed your life?
Good question.
Welcome to another episode of Selahmeditate podcast, where we bring you high calibers of individuals to discuss their stories and also to discuss on business, mindset, self-development, and also what is going to impact you to also achieve success in your life and also in your endeavors. I remain your host, Benzik. Today we have the privilege of bringing you a very distinguished guest. He is famously known as Africa's most influential investment coach. He's a visionary entrepreneur and a philanthropist with a remarkable journey from humble beginning to global success. As a founder of a conglomerate brand and also a member of the Forbes Business Council, he has had a significant stride in real estate, digital marketing, and also on business and entrepreneurship. So today we bring him here. He's going to discuss on real estate and also how it's going to impact you in your own life and in what you're doing so you can also achieve success. But before I bring him in, I'm just going to do a brief, as we usually do, to read his brief profile. Dr. Stephen Akintayo is a prominent investment coach in Africa and a member of the Forbes Business Council. He's the chairman of GTEX Holding, a conglomerate with interests in real estate, agriculture, and digital marketing, among other sectors. GTEX Homes is a subsidiary of GTEX Holding, manages over 20 estates across Nigeria, and has offices in Dubai and London, with plans to expand to Dallas, USA. Dr. Akintayo founded the Stephen Akintayo Foundation, which aims to empower entrepreneurs, especially from Africa, through mentorship and training in various business fields. The foundation also focuses on philanthropy, providing grants and supporting orphans and vulnerable children. Born in Maiduguri, Nigeria, in a humble setting, Dr. Akintayo overcame significant challenges to succeed. His entrepreneurship journey began at 17 with small-scale ventures and grew into a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. He is also the founder of the Stephen Akintayo Online Wealth University, offering courses on wealth creation, and author of 45 books. Dr. Akintayo has also produced various media content, including a TV show, Investment Chart in Rolls-Royce, and the Billionaire Habits podcast. He has hosted global events like the Global Wealth Festival and partnered with notable personalities like Grant Cardone and John Maxwell. Dr. Akintayo holds a degree in microbiology from Olabisi Onabanjo University and has completed executive programs at Harvard University. He has received multiple honorary doctorates and awards, including the Forbes Best Africa Leading Investment Coach and Real Estate Mogul Award. Dr. Akintayo is married with children. So this is just a brief profile of the guest we have here, in case some of you don't know who he is. So guys, make welcome my very distinguished guest here, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. So,
thank you for having me
here.
Thank you.
It's really a pleasure and a privilege to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm quite sometimes intrigued with your profile, and when I discuss with some of my guests like this, I try to know their background story and how they were able to achieve success and what prompted them to get to what they are doing. So can you briefly share a brief of your background story and how real estate called yourself into real estate? How did it happen from the beginning?
Well, my background story, I don't know where to start from. I was born in the northern part of Nigeria in Maiduguri.
Okay.
At some point we grew up, I was growing up in what you can call a village, because there was no running water, there was no electricity. My mother was a civil servant. My father's business had crumbled even before I was born. And so it was really tough growing up for me. It wasn't one of those easy one at all. And those challenges forced me to want to be successful. I remember asking my mom once, why are we poor? Why? Because she would take me to a neighbor to go and borrow money for my tuition fee. And many of them would look at her with disdain and still not borrow her the money. So I used to be so upset. Why are we going through all of this? And she told me, the problem is that I didn't go to university. I only had a secondary school. And she said, you know what? You go to school. If you can be a graduate, you'll get a good job and your life will be good. Unfortunately, we all know the story. By the time I finished school, I remember even printing 100 CVs. And I had a cover letter that says, do not pay me until I prove myself. And guess what?
So she wrote in your cover letter?
Yes, and nobody gave me the job. Not one person. Right? And so I had to continue the business I started on campus to where I am today. So it was that bad. So it means that the whole idea of go to school, you get a good job, all of that didn't work in my case, because that didn't happen. And so I had to start entrepreneurship since I was even in the university. I think that was the good thing I did, because I read the book Read That Poor Dad at the age of 17, 18. And that really changed my perspective about life, the way I see life, the way I see things. And till tomorrow, I'm grateful to God for that book. That's why I'm big on book. Yes, I've written over 40 books because I believe if that book could change my life, I can change as many people's life through books. So through the book, I realized that it wasn't going to be being a graduate and having a good job that would make me prosperous. Entrepreneurship and investment was the way. So I started, I've done all manner of business, so popcorn, Hawk Electronics, all manner of businesses.
But that was in campus?
On campus and even after campus. I used to organize trade fairs. But one of those businesses I did, started on campus, was also bulk SMS. And that eventually became the only one I could do when I left campus, because the starting cost was little. I started that with 1,000 naira.
Okay.
And so even after campus, all I needed was marketing. So I would paste posters, buy bulk SMS 70 kobo from Songwater to Keja Long. All these corvettes, just, 70 kobo, photocopy kind of, A4 paper as a flyer. So, and by 2015, we had become a household name. At that point, it was already...
By 2015.
Yes, by 2015, we're already in the business for...
That is the bulk SMS.
Bulk SMS business. At that point, we were already in the business for about 2008 to 2015 is 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah, so we've been in the business for about 7 years, and that was the beginning of the turnaround.
Okay, then how did you that this real estate come into the place?
It was in 2015, because at 2015 when we were so big, multinationals, PZ, Vita, big companies were patronizing us. Political parties during the election too were patronizing us. I said to myself, this is like the peak. What's next? And I had already started, real estate as a property agent years prior. So I felt, you know what? And I had visited Silicon Valley, saw all these Google campus, Facebook campus. They were all big real estate, sitting on, 200 acres, 100 acres. So these guys, it's not just technology. They were big on real estate. At that point, I knew I needed to go into real estate. So 2015 October was when we launched our first estate. It was a waterlogged land in Ikorodu. Well, 9 years later, we're talking of Dubai, US, the rest is history, as they say.
Now, you were poor growing up, like you said. So how did it happen when the bulk SMS business, was it what gave you all the bulk of the money you needed to start the real estate business? Or how did it
Funny enough, the real estate business started almost with zero. Because somebody had over 200 acres and he had come for my training on how to use the internet to sell. We're the pioneer people when it comes to selling online and using the internet, social media, website, blogging. We're pioneer in that area. And so I used to run trainings, and this guy came, and after the training he said, you know what, I came because I'm struggling to sell my land. I can give you 50 acres. You have integrity, you know how to sell. As you sell, you pay me.
Just like that.
Just like that. That's how we started. He gave me 50 acres. But the difficult thing was now the 50 acre was water. In fact, it was so waterlogged that it was from the man's estate, because my own was still watered, and I need hundreds of millions to even some feel to where our land starts from. So I will bring investors to the man's gates, and I will say our own land starts from, you see that tree? But if you can invest, of course, many didn't invest, but those who invested today now, there's road to the place, is fenced, and there's a lot of improvements on that property. But yeah, that's where we started. So I would say we started with knowledge, and ability to market. And I say this oftentimes, that as an entrepreneur, your capital is actually sales capital. I call it sales capital. People say cash capital, social capital. Ability to sell is capital in itself.
As an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Wow. Now also I remember, like you said, from the beginning we were poor, and then bulk SMS business then came in. At what point, what was the turning point, and what gave you the big break in the real estate business?
Well, the turning point was 2015 January. I was the end of 2014. I targeted that 2015 election was coming. There was a lot of cash flow. The economy also was doing well. Remember, Nigeria became the first economy in Africa. So I've been pushing aggressive advert. If I remember, I would join then Facebook groups that had 500,000 people, 1 million people. We had a software called Hootsuite, right? I would blast to all those groups. So I was in more than 1,000 groups.
Wow.
Right? An average of them had 500,000 people. And I would broadcast 3 times a day.
Wow.
And I had an email database where I would send over 200,000 emails every single week.
How did you build that email?
Yeah, they were available to buy then.
Okay.
Then you can buy database, email database, phone number database, divide them into categories. In fact, even for our bulk SMS business, that's why people came. It was that we could help them send SMS and target a local government or target a business category That's why they were patronizing us. So I was able to use that also for my own business. And then as people were coming, we were able to. The big break was January. It was even on my birthday. It was a 30 million naira transaction, bulk SMS transaction. And I said, before that time, to show you, I never sold one time 1 million naira bulk SMS to anybody. Now I was told to send an invoice for 30 million. When the 30 million hit our account, okay, the GT Bank had to block our account to come and explain what the money was for. Because that kind of money had never entered.
Yeah. You were surprised where this money come from.
The bank had to say, she come and explain. You know, maybe it was an error or something.
Or something.
Yeah, but that was the big break, 2015 January. And that, I mean, if you make 30 million, of course, our profit was even less than 5 million. But at that point, that was enough to turn the business around.
How did your parents come into the picture? What did they do to help you to what you're doing, and like your dad, your mom?
So my dad's business had crumbled, so he didn't play much financially. He wasn't there for us financially. He was there physically, but not financially. And so that was another story I often don't even want to tell. But my mother was the main breadwinner. She worked hard. She was there. And it was tough for her. There were 5 of us. And what was even painful was she had died of ovarian cancer. Yeah, even before any so-called breakthrough. Yeah. So one of my biggest regret today was that she's not alive to see what we've become. Because our last statement on her dying bed was, my children are still young. Who will take care of them or become of them? You know, she was really worried what happened to us after she died, because she knew my father wasn't going to take up the responsibility of us.
Wow. So so the sad story. Now, also, I'm thinking, when you made your first big break, what was it like? What was the mindset shift that you did that was able to help you to see that you were able to watch some amount of money when you were having them?
I think it was realizing that, I think for the first time I took responsibility for my life. And a lot of us Nigerians don't know this, right? That when we have challenges, we're unconsciously wired to blame other people. Right? It is witches from the village. It is people from my family's house. And I had gone through all of that season too, because I had a business crash in 2012 that landed me in debt without borrowing money. I had represented a university in Hungary. They didn't give the applicants admission. They came after me. They want their money back. And it was so terrible. Right? In the midst of that, I had gone to the mountain, 21-day fasting, praying. And I remember I even went back to Bible school. And, I had my break spiritually when I just made up my mind from the Bible school. It said, praise is what you do when you don't know what else to do.
Yes.
So I said, okay, I'll wake up 12 a.m. every day to start praising God. The first night, it was the toughest. And that was the night. In fact, one night did it. It was tough because when I started praising God, the devil said, what are you thanking God for? You pay tithe, you give offering, yet you ran into this mess. It was so bad, we couldn't renew house rent. My landlady we sing every morning, cursing us out. The landlord, on the other hand, the husband was a fantastic man. Life is funny. So, and went through all that journey. So, but I just said, a living dog is better than a dead lion. Father, I thank you that I'm alive. Is a proof that there's hope. And in the course of that worship, the Holy Spirit came and started breaking down my business for me.
Wow.
It says, okay, so you're doing bulk SMS. What's your profit margin? I say 10%. If you make 10%, how will you ever be able to pay all this your debts? Which of your products has the highest profit margin? I say database. Because I only buy those database once. Sometimes database of the whole Nigeria, database of business people in Ikeja, database of people in the island. You say you buy it once, and then you own the profit you can sell it to unlimited number of people. So why promote bulk SMS? Because even those who buy bulk SMS still end up needing to buy database to promote, because SMS was a major marketing tool then. 95% open rate, was affordable, was measurable. So those people say, why not market database? Anybody who buy database from you and realize it's organic, is authentic, we still end up coming back to you to use your SMS portal.
True.
And that's what happened. Even the client who paid the 30 million had bought my database, nationwide database, for 850,000. And when they saw that it was authentic, you know, they came back and said, you know what, we're buying the SMS, the SMS unit to the tune of 30 million.
Wow.
Right. So for me, I will say, the fact that I took responsibility and I realized there is not any witch doing me. Right? It's not any wizard. I need to market. I need to take this thing headlong. More people need to know about my product.
Yes.
And that was the change. Until today, it's still the secret of our business. Anytime, you know, I have a downtime in income, in business, I know what to do. Just need to push more. Just need to increase the visibility.
That's true. Now, what were the challenges you faced this early time, and how were you able to overcome them?
Oh, many. From employees to lack of funds, to not being sure you're on the right track. You know, everybody will come and tell you something is wrong with you. Yes. It's you that is wrong, you know. Yes. From even your employees will tell you are the problem. Yes. So having the right team was a major issue for me, and years later I realized that, of course, to have a right team, there's a lot involved, right? From consultant to training to you yourself being at the forefront of providing the right kind of leadership. Yes. But more importantly, it's also, I realize, you have to just manage certain caliber of employees until you rise to a level. Right? Say that again. Yes. Because at some point you can't really attract the best talent. Because you don't even have the funding. You can't pay them the kind of salary. The office ambience is not attractive. It's not attractive. Okay? I mean, you are in my office now. Yes. Even the location in Ikoyi, we attract certain people. Just that is in Ikoyi. Sure. Right? Compared to right, where our offices used to be then. Right? So now I'm realizing, and I encourage younger entrepreneurs to say, look, this is in phases. Just get the best out of certain caliber of employees you can attract. Because when your business is still low, you attract some of the most loyal employees, passionate employees. Some of them who mind sleeping in the office for your business. Right? When your business gets to a level, they may not be as loyal, but they are more skillful. Okay. They are more experienced. You're able to attract really, really good talent. So that was a major issue for me. It was really tough. Also dealing with law enforcement, right? Legalities. Today somebody did business with you, tomorrow they're coming back for refund. You say you're not refunding, they've called police, turn a civil matter to criminal. Right? I mean, if I go into those experiences, we'll not live here.
No. What did for anybody that is thinking to start up in real estate to succeed in it? What are the first advice you have, or 5 top advice you have for those persons?
If you're going to do real estate, I think the first thing is training and mentorship. First, you can't joke with that, right? Real estate is one of the toughest business to do. Toughest. Take my word for it. Until you get into it, you will know. Wow. It's so vicious. It's so vicious. If you do it wrongly, you will be in trouble. And it's so troubling because the entire value chain is dangerous, right? I'll start with Omonile. There are few lands I've bought in Lagos that Omonile has not put rituals.
Has not put rituals? Yes,
literally. And I'm not talking of before buying. After you've bought, before you know, you go to site, they've put, you call it ebo or something. Ritual, literal. Wow. Right? One experience, we had this land we bought from the king of the place. and then were to do fence. Workers were outside doing the fence. Old women, naked themselves, as I rotating the place with charm, with incantation. All my workers ran away. Right? Okay. So, from the money law issue, you're in trouble. Right?
Yeah.
Regulatory issues. Different agency pasting things on your property, wanting to extort you all the time. Right? To the clients themselves. Oh, Jehovah. You can just wake up one day and people are sending you video of a client that have done Facebook video. I was just calmed down by Stephen Akintayo and his company. They are scammers. Like, Jesus. What did I scam? You willingly came to buy property. If you want your money back, there's a procedure. We can't just, it's not as if we keep the money in the bank waiting for the day you say you want your money back. You have to give time, and then the system will try and see if they can refund you based on what you signed. But they already have labeled you criminal on a civil matter.
Wow.
Right? So you need training, you need mentorship, so that you can be guided that these are the things you experience, and these are the, not sometimes, some preventable, some just mentally prepare. Right? And have the right appropriate action to take when it occurs. And you need to have those kind of mentors you can just count on and just onboard them. You know, before you came there, I was just doing, and that's why I'm passionate about one-on-one mentorship. I just finished a one-on-one mentorship with an entrepreneur. And you know, you could even see her face so tensed up. Of course, she left smiling. Right? But imagine she doesn't have someone like me.
Okay.
Right? I won't bring all these issues, that issues, and then the person can say, this one do this, this one do this, this one do this. And then you can live so lighted, right? Like, wow, somebody gets me. You know. So mentorship and training, absolutely very important. Number 2 is you must be disciplined. It's a business that requires high level of discipline. I've seen a lot of our colleagues run into trouble because they're just not disciplined with money. Right? People, you know, you need to know that it's not your money. Sometimes I meet people who say, look, Stephen is not as lavish with money the way we expect. And I'm like, yeah, all these billions you guys call is not mine. Is things people put in my care, in trust. Right? If I mismanage it, I don't have a business anymore. And in business, it's a name that you have. It's not the product. It's the name.
It's the name.
A man invested over $1 million with us one time. Never seen me in Dubai. It was the day he came for the key to his house. He came to our Dubai office, and I sat him and I said, "Oga, and you wired all this money without seeing me. What if I wasn't real?" And the man, you know, busted to laughter. I said, "Yeah," and his word was that you are too intelligent.
Wow.
When I listened to you, I knew you were too intelligent to scam. Like, you can use the brain to legitimately make the money. So why will you want to
scam,
do otherwise? But you know, that created fear in me.
Okay.
That you mean people trust you this much. You better don't disappoint them. Right? It's a different thing if people just trust you with 10 million, 20 million naira. We're talking of millions of dollars. Until today, we keep having those experiences. I can tell you 99% of my clients, I've never met them before. And some of them will be telling my staff, I'm doing this business because your boss is a good man. I'm like, good man, you don't even know me. Right? But that is really the business. And if you're not disciplined, and then you mismanage such money,
that's trouble.
That's trouble. Real one.
So, but for you, you know, some people that want to start up, that may say they may have it difficult with mentorship. And for you, what was the mentorship training you went through, or how did you go about it? Did you have mentors?
Beautiful.
How did you have
So how I got my real estate mentor was I remember I told you I first started by selling for other real estate companies, even before 2015. And that's also my advice to people watching. That could be the beginning, right? The Bible says if you are not faithful in that which is another man, who will give your own.
Yes.
Sometimes you may not be able to afford this one-on-one mentorship, but go and serve the person.
Okay.
Right? So because I was selling for them, they have no choice than to at least, you want to ask questions. So why did you do this way? Why did you do this? I remember one of the first lessons I learned about dealing with Omonile. I followed this man I used to sell for. And then while we were on our way, it was in Shimawa, one other land, we saw all manner of people with guns. I said, what happened to this man land? He said, well, those are people who don't learn. Right? He went to pay a particular family. Meanwhile, before you know it, 2 other families came and said, it's just one party he settled, that they are here. And the whole thing has become messed up. And he said, look, when it comes to buying real estate, it's like you must put a gun on the table with your seller. And money that you want to pay him. And then you negotiate.
Wow.
Right? Particularly when you are dealing with this Omonile issue. A gun on the table. The money to pay. And then you are smiling to negotiate. So that they know the kind of person they are dealing with. So even until today, yeah, you see me with Omonile, I'm negotiating land. I'm a different person. It's not this Oyinbo tush guy. Nah.
So that was your
hard Omonile myself.
So that was your hard mentors that period.
Yes, I was able to get mentor through selling for them. You know, so by the time I was to start mine, I already had enough knowledge. Yes, about how the business works.
Now, what do you think are some of the mistakes you see new real estate people and investors do?
Well, I think a lot of real estate investors, developers, the first mistake I see them make is still what I've mentioned, not getting training and mentorship.
Okay.
Whatever you think you are saving in not getting a mentor, I promise you will lose times 1,000.
Okay.
I guarantee you. The second one, I think, is people get arrogant easily. You know, our business can puff you up if you're not careful, you know, and it's just empty. You know, you see people, because now suddenly you that you never believe in your life, you can touch 10 million cash. Now your company is doing 1 billion a month, 5 billion naira in a month. It just gets into your head and you don't know that you have just started. And realize it's a long-term journey, right? It's like a marriage. It's like real covenant with your clients. Like you are with them. So if you don't think 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead, and you're proactive and you are evolving the business so that you are constantly there, right? And you are asking mentors, what are the challenges when we go through in this business model in the long run? Right, so that you're providing solution, you will run into trouble. The third one will also be people sell too cheap. So I buy a land for, let's say, 1 million naira. An average real estate developer is selling for 2 million naira. You're going to run into trouble doing that. Absolute trouble. Why? 20% of the cost you are selling, let's assume that's the case someone does. 1 million naira. Selling for 2 million. 20% of your sales goes to your marketers. 10% direct. You know, the other one's indirect incentives. Now, what is the 20% of 2 million? If I'm correct, that's 400,000.
200.
Do you see the... That's 400.
That's 400.
10% is 200.
Yeah, 10% is 200.
20%, that's... So, that means you're left with 600. Then... you pay agents through who you bought the land. There are other normal bills that you see, youth of the area, these people, that person, Ilea, you must supply RAM. You do spend money on marketing. You have office space. You pay your employees, internet. Right? Now, that's not it. First of all the remaining 600,000 cannot cover that. That I can assure you. But beyond that is also, you now need to really develop the land. Else, your investors are going to say, hey, you sold the land to us, you never do fence, you never did anything. Right? So again, and remember the cost of, building cement has gone up like crazy.
Yes.
So before you say Jack Robinson is a failed estate, and that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing so many failed estates. And it's because the developers did not plan it well. If you are buying a land for 1 million naira, I can assure you, you probably will need 4 million naira to provide proper infrastructure.
Wow.
To put fence, put drainage, put internal road in that estate. And because most developers are just jumping into it, and then as soon as this volume is coming, you go, the money is there. And you're already even running at a loss and you don't even know.
Now, you grew so fast within 9 years. I know people that have been in business that they could say 10, 15 years, and they have not been able to achieve this magnificent feat. What do you think stood out for you? Or what year? Or what's the kind of the highest amount of money they were able to make that transformed your life significantly? And what stood out for you in the entrepreneurship world?
Well, we've been in business 16 years. So, we're just in real estate for 9 years.
Itself, yes.
And I won't say that ours is exceptional because, real estate is a volume business. So some people have been able to even do what we've done in a shorter year. The only difference is that we expanded internationally faster to Dubai operation, the US operation. Okay. But in terms of locally, there are companies who even do more than us in volume and have not even spent the years we've put in. I think what helped us is that the foresight to think global. A lot of businesses, the mistake they make is they stay local.
Okay.
Right? And if you stay local, you're not well diversified, and whatever happens to your economy affects you. Right? For example, there's protest tomorrow now.
Yes.
That is naturally going to affect sales in the Nigerian business. But in our case, our Dubai business is still selling. Our US business is selling. So when we call a customer and say, I'm afraid of buying, Nigeria is hot now. Say, well, come and buy in Dubai. Come and buy in US, right? So that foresight, I think, is one of the amazing ingredients. And I think 2016 was instructive when I saw what happened when Buhari came in and we experienced the first recession. And I said to myself, I don't want to be in this situation anymore. I want to be able to earn in foreign currency. I don't want a limit to my income. And I think that decision was very, very important because that was the year 2016 I made up my mind. It's time to go global.
What daily routine or habit do you think contributed to your success?
I read and I think a lot. I think a lot, and I learn a lot from observation. I observe even people who don't know I'm observing them. Right? I have an eagle eye on things, right? I've had sessions with people where I describe them and they're like, did somebody send you to me? They're almost like, did this person send you to me? How can you so accurately predict? But I've learned that observation is one of the biggest way to learn. Just look at things and ask, why are they like this? Why are they this way? A lot of us don't. We think at the surface level. It's very shallow. We don't go deeper. And so for me, those habits are very helpful. I read, I think, I observe, and of course I write.
What do you think makes you special?
I think it's God, my understanding of God. I learned about God early, and I didn't just learn about who He is, I learned who He is to me and how special I am to Him. And that consciousness, that God consciousness, has been very instrumental to how far I've come.
What do you think is the importance of networking and relationship, and having been able to build that network for yourself that has aided your business?
Let's just put it this way, that you earn a living by working hard, right? You will become financially comfortable by working smart, but you only become wealthy by networking. Right.
Say that again.
Right. So until you master the art of networking, wealth will be far from you. It's despite your hard work, despite your being a genius and being creative and good. And the secret to networking is simple: honor.
Honor.
Just know how to honor people. Just be exceptionally good at it. Exceptionally good at it. Like, know how to honor people.
How do you describe honoring people?
There are a couple of elements to it. The way you talk to them, show respect, use gifts, solve problems for them, be intentional, go extra mile in an intentional way that shows them that I'm committed to seeing that things go well for you. And when people are used to everybody asking them something, everybody begging, everybody asking, come and help me, God has blessed you, give me something. When for the first time they are seeing you not asking for something, and all you are doing is to say, can I help? Can I serve? Here's a gift. It just turns them inside out.
Now, people, when someone is growing up with poverty, from poverty background,
Yeah.
the mindset sometimes can be the hindrance. So for you to be able to see that you can be able to achieve some feats, or can be able to do some things in your life. How were you able to have that mindset transformation for yourself? I was able to help you to know that coming out from a background is one thing for you to come out from a rich family that you already have everything on a platter. But you're coming out from a poor background where everything you're seeing around you is poverty. For you to make a mindset shift that will be able to help you to see wealth and be able to achieve some kind of feat. How were you able to do that?
Books. I read my way up. Read that poor dad, richest man in Babylon, Think and Grow Rich, Acres of Diamond, right? Purpose-driven life. I can go on and on. These books, I was chewing them age 17, 18, 19, 20, right? And those things just turned me around. And so mentally, I was deep. I was not thinking poor anymore. I have seen people, and some of those books were about people who were from nothing too. So if you're reading, and these are mostly American books, and these will keep reiterating how they were nothing and they rose to the top, and they keep repeating it. At some point the thing gets on, you just rub in. And I think my spiritual mentor also played a role. I now happen to have a spiritual mentor who believes in wealth and blessing and prosperity. And so some say he has 4 private jets, some say, at the largest church auditorium. So imagine every Sunday, every Wednesday, Sunday, listen to the same person twice a week. And you go into what the man has been able to accomplish in a spiritual setting from zero. And then you are in a business setting, about what can stop you? Really? You have to think big.
So the thinking changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, how do you define success and fulfillment, and how has your own definition evolved over time?
Well, success is not a destination, it's a journey. I think success is your ability to envision where you should be and getting there. Fulfillment for me is giving other people joy, helping other people's dreams to come to pass. Nothing has given me more fulfillment than changing people's life. I've watched people grow. I've watched people's life change. Like I said, I just finished a coaching session. I was telling the mentee, I said, give me 6 months. This business will turn around. I guarantee you. I said, with your help, I'm sure. Right? And I watch, and 6 months later, I can assure you, the joy of seeing the business change. And then I remind her today's meeting. So she said, I was worried you were. Remember that day? I see your picture. And then we laugh over it. That joy It's really what gives fulfillment. The kids you send to school. As a gentleman, I went to one of our sites. I was a young boy working as a carpenter with his uncle. I said, this child labor, you can't be having someone that is not even 15, maybe it was 11 or 12. He said the dad died, the sister is his own sister, and he needed to help. I said, well, if that's the case, to whatever level this guy wants to go to school, I'll pay. And then they enrolled the guy in school, bought him uniform. The first result were F, D, F, D. The last result they sent to me was A, 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 B, A, 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 B. Nothing gives you more fulfillment than that. So what you're able to do with money, the joy, the change you can create because you're rich, for me, that's fulfillment.
Wow. Now, when someone is about to go into real estate, there are a whole lot of things that come into their mind of who they are going to meet and what are they going to start with. And now, for you personally, what do you think was one of the biggest finance challenge you had within the business, and how were you able to overcome that particular challenge on finance?
Well, I think the first finance is finance, but the first was the fact that it was difficult to convince people to invest with us at the beginning.
Okay.
I didn't look like it. I talk so big, but I didn't look big. So it was difficult for people to trust us. But what I learned is being consistent. Once you are consistent, after a while, today now I meet people that have been following 5 years, 10 years, or more, man, you are consistent. You see somebody chat me, if someone chat me up, say, I'm following 4 years now I'm ready to do business with you. And so that has taught me that if you can just hang in there, that's why the Bible says, knock, and the door shall be open. Seek, right? And what's the third one? Ask.
Yeah, ask.
The three means the same thing. Ask, seek, knock. It's all request. But what the Bible is trying to say is that you just have to keep doing it until it works. The universe respects consistent people. The universe respects consistent people. The secret to success, I tell people, is just persistent. If you are there, if you don't give up, it's a matter of time. You make it, guaranteed. The problem is we often give up. And sometimes we give up when we are so close to breakthrough, and we don't know we're close, but we are like, come on, I've done this for too long. But you're just about to break through, just hang in there. Hang in there.
Some people will say, I've been in this for a whole lot of time, and challenges left, right, and center. Maybe it's not their calling, or maybe it's not what they want
the strategy. To do. Strategies must constantly change, but the mission remains the same.
Okay.
Product can change, but the entrepreneurship journey continues. Right? I'm not still selling the same product I was selling 16 years ago, but the mission was to be a great and successful entrepreneur. So be flexible to change tactics, change strategy, but the mission remains the same.
How were you intentional in building the networking of people? As you mentioned, that networking and connection is very important and key to business success. How were you intentional in your networking building and able to gather some influential people around you?
Well, it was tough. I to be honest with you, I didn't do it until I became successful. Right? Because I wasn't somebody worth their time. People don't know that networking is expensive. It's not cheap. Right? That you see someone around wealthy people. It's not easy to track wealthy people down. It's not beans. Right? And you yourself need to look what you are trying to attract. You need to look it. So for many, many years, I couldn't attract such people. And I just focused on doing my business, becoming somebody attractive, becoming somebody who had a great business that people were ready to identify. So by the time I was done networking, thank God, I had something worth them me saying, I'm proud of Stephen, I'm close to Stephen. Do you know Stephen? that young man is doing this, is doing that. I became somebody they are willing to be proud, willing to associate with, because what I was doing made sense, right? So I would say to people, if you are not able to attract successful people today, don't worry, just keep doing it. I remember one of the most wealthiest oil and gas persons in this country. I had sent him an Instagram message years ago. I wanted him to speak at our event. He didn't respond. Right? Was it last year or so? Guess who sent me a message? Oh, so sorry, you've messaged me before.
Can you imagine?
I apologize. I need a favor from you. Right? So you see the irony of life. I grew myself to a point where he's the one that needed the favor.
This is impressive. There are some people that before you can get some caliber of people, you just have to grow yourself into that. Okay,
that's the honest truth, because you have to be wounded to want to hang around. I mean, let's be honest. Like, I mean, relationship is not by force, by choice, and people move with individuals who are adding value to them. Human beings are selfish by default. What are you adding? What are you bringing to the table? You can't just say you want to be hanging around me for what? What do you bring to the table? Right? So I'm at a point now where I have a lot to bring to the table with relationships with people. Even when I meet some of people who are way richer than I do, I'm already saying, can I help you do this? Can I help you do that? Like, wow, thank you. And they are more interested in me doing it because they know I'm rich enough that I will not sabotage them. That's another issue. Right? Because some of you are reaching out to rich people, but they think that if I bring this guy close and even have an idea of how rich I am, he's thinking of how to literally almost kidnap me. Right? So many of them are more comfortable with knowing that you're already successful and that, even if they bring you closer, do you see the point now?
Yes.
You're not going to sabotage them.
Some people will say, is it fair to life? Because why would you say, I have to be able to have something I can be able to do, or how to have a particular achievement before I can be able to link with? Where comes in the time of looking up to people and trying to bring them up, even when they are...
Then look up to them. Call role model. Yeah, I mean, like I said to you, a lot of these people, I couldn't afford them. Let's give you an example. John Maxwell, I've read his book. Robert Kiyosaki, I told you that was the first book that changed my life. But now I host them on my event.
Wow.
But it's not cheap. Right? To host Robert Kiyosaki is like almost $50,000 for an hour.
Wow.
John Maxwell almost $800,000.
Wow.
So I kept reading the book until I got to a level where I can afford them. So read the books. That's why most of us write books. People wonder why I write books, because everybody can meet me, everybody can have access to me, but everyone can have access to my book. Because even if you want to, number one, you may not be able to afford it. Number two, I too can't afford it. I can't meet everybody. I have a business to run.
True. Right?
I have employees who need my time as well. I have our CEOs who need guidance and advice from me. So even the ones who are older than I do not have the experience in the particular business as long as I have done. So I have commitments, responsibility. I have family, I have kids too. So it's not easy. So you can't blame wealthy people or successful people and say, oh, they are... No, it's just not realistic. When you get there, funny enough, you understand. Because you're not there. That's why when you get there, you know, I get it. I now understand. I was angry with them, but I'm doing it myself too now. And it's not like I'm being wicked. It's just not realistic what people want of me.
Yes.
But I also think that even at where you are, for some mentors, you can still provide value. Even at where you are, right? As you can still provide value. It may be that you understand you are more famous, right? And you're able to leverage. It may be that you understand media. I knew one of the books I read is Millionaire Capsule. Bayo Arolo, and he talked about how he told his billionaire mentor, say, okay, I'm a media guy, I'm a media person, I don't have money, but I have media, I can get. So now you help the man with all his press conference, anything media he helps the person to do, in exchange, he gets attention of the person.
What is the most amount of money you made in a single year that has transformed your life, completely?
Money has never transformed my life.
Okay.
Money has never. Networkers, but no money.
Or no money. But in a single year, what's the most amount of money you've been able to make?
I don't analyze those things. Trust me, I don't. Like I told you, at this level, we leverage on other people's money, other people's time.
Yeah.
People invest with us, they trust us with their money. So you don't look at things. I don't really look at things from money perspective. People, yes, I teach on money just because I hate poverty and I want people to come out of poverty. But when you get close to me, you realize that money is the last thing that I think of. Last thing to do anything. Last thing. Even in coming up with a new company, okay, I decide today now I'm opening a business in Russia. Money is the last thing I think of. I think of people first. Who do I know in Russia? I think of product first. I think of human resources. I think of administration. I think of marketing strategy. But capital to start the office will be the last thing I would think of.
People mostly think of capital to start up.
Oh, that's a big mistake. Big capital is overrated. I think there should be a book like that. Capital is overrated. People are more important.
Okay.
Right? Right product, more important. Human resources, skills, ability to attract good talent, more important. Right? Your partners. I mean, there's so many things more important than money.
Now, one of the things that can be able to help you also in business is how you're able to manage people and your staff and your compensation plan. How been able to do it to be able to retain the right talent and be able to manage large number of staff that help to do your business?
I think what we've done is to create an ideal environment where people can be whatever they want to be. In our company, salary is the least thing you think of if you're a good skill. We've been able to create other sources of income for our people. Commission structure. So we have people whose salary in this company may be 400,000, but they go home with 2 million every month. Aside 400,000.
Wow.
And the 2 million, they can be getting that every month because of commission. So I have employees who are doing their own mini estate of their own.
You can allow them to do that?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not conflicting. In other words, they're just building like 20 units, apartments. They will rent some out, they will sell some. It's just their own person. And it's not like a business, it's just from money they've made from the company. They're able to build some things for themselves too. So it's been a system that people come in knowing they can be whatever they want to be. They can be what we call entrepreneur.
Yes.
They're in the system, but it's almost as if they're running their own business. But more importantly is training. We spend so much in training. Okay. This month alone, we have 2 new people who just paid 13 million plus each for their MBA in Lagos Business School.
Wow, company paid for them.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So we are very big on training. We do a lot of vacations, company-sponsored vacations. We just create an ideal system where
you're able to motivate them.
Absolutely. As long as you work. Of course, not everybody enjoys that, but it's a place if I put in my best, the system will reward me.
Now, how do you stay motivated during difficult times? Have you been able to achieve a particular feat, and then a particular year, maybe there's some things happening or things are down? How are you able to stay motivated during difficult times or challenging periods?
Well, I mean, I've learned to inspire myself. I said, everybody can give up on you, but you can't give up on yourself. So over the years, I've learned to not give up on myself by trainings, mentorship, prayers, a lot of meditation. Right? Why is this challenge there? What's the way out? There must be a way out. I learned that from my mentor. There must be a way out. There must be a way out. So rather than play pity party, I've learned to focus on the solution. What's the way out of this challenge? And it's always worked.
How do you study the right investment destinations to invest in or to buy properties?
Good question, but those are purely based on data. It's easy, right? When you study the data, there are countries where the property value is appreciating consistently, funding is available. I mean, Dubai, it was a no-brainer when we opened Dubai office, 2021 January. It was a no-brainer, right? Our US business as well. You're able to access minimum 70% of whatever money you need for your real estate in the US that you won't get in Nigeria, right? So just normal data analysis you get, you're good.
So with data, you can be able to just study a particular environment.
Absolutely.
And all of that. Now, you know, in Nigeria currently, there are lots of hardship, people suffering left, right, and center. So why do you think people suffer in this part of the world, or why do you think most businesses fail?
Businesses fail in this part of the world because we don't have proper support from government and the financial institutions. In a lot of countries, you can literally, once your credit is good, go to any bank and you get a $50,000, $30,000 loan that you can say you need to pay in 15 years just because you have a good credit. Now, we don't find that in Nigeria. You can't just go to the bank. And I'm talking of people who haven't even done any business transaction, right? You don't get that in Nigeria. The government policies as well, it's just for a selective few, for some people. So when you look at the system, right, the tax man thinks he's your enemy instead of thinking he's your partner.
It's your partner.
The man in charge of, let's say you're into real estate, the man in charge of permit thinks is to come and extort you instead of thinking of, let's look at your design together. How do we achieve something that does not compromise the integrity of the building? Right? So because our public service professionals don't understand that they're supposed to partner with the private sector. You see what's going on with Dangote, right? And NPC thinks Dangote is a competition.
That's true.
The regulatory commission thinks Dangote is a competition, which has come to wipe them out of business. So they will put themselves along the way. They will create a lot of bureaucracies, and that one will be like, "Are you kidding me? I put in $20 billion into this. Are you okay? You know, like, are you okay? You know what's at stake here?
True.
You know, like, you want to kill me. You're talking of from Afrexim Bank to African Development Bank. Everybody has their money in that refinery.
Yes.
I mean, if this thing works, it's a win for not just Nigeria, the whole of Africa. And then some regulatory guy somewhere thinks he's talking some rubbish. But that's what you face in Nigeria.
How can we help that?
Ask your president, your governor, your local government chairman, right? Everybody has a role to play. The people in government have to understand they are here to support the private sector. They are here to serve the people, right? And most of the people are in the private sector, not in the public sector. So anytime you have opportunity to be in the public sector, understand you're a servant of the people and be willing to give the best. Once we all do that, and then we'll change. And it's not just the president, governor, local government chairman alone, director of this, director of that, civil servant here, permanent secretary here. Everybody must know that you're there to support the people. You're not, it's not a competition. You are an enabler.
So apart from the government agencies and what they are doing, what about individual selves? What do you think? Do you think Nigerians are trying enough?
Absolutely. Nigerians are hardworking people. One of the most hardworking people. I think where we miss it sometimes is we fail to realize the place of partnership. We think we're each other's enemy. So somebody sent me a message. A woman said, I met you 10 years ago in the US. And you were doing a training about an opportunity. Said, I came for a seminar in the US. She's from Cameroon. So the guy sitting beside me is a Nigerian. And he told me, he said, I'm also a Nigerian. Don't listen to the man. Don't invest with him. He's just deceiving you. He said, I followed you from that time till now. I made a mistake. I'm ready to do business with your company. Please, how can I partner?
Can you imagine?
10 years ago. A Nigerian told her, I'm a Nigerian like you, don't mind him. He's coming here telling you can do this, can do.
That means we affect ourselves sometimes.
Absolutely. That's where the problem is. Right, so we're good people, but we don't trust each other. We're the ones trying to pull each other down, crap mentality. And once we stop those things, we'll go far.
Is solely in this part of the world, or it's everywhere, generally human beings?
It's an African thing. It's not as bad with other tribes. The Chinese are not that bad with each other, right? The Hispanics are not that bad with each other. But we Africans want to pull each other down.
And it's true.
Yeah.
And it's true. I have two final questions for you, and one of them is, what anybody that is confused at this moment, that do not know is left or right, and is thinking of how to start life afresh or what to start doing in business, what advice do you have for that person?
Well, pray to God, read books, attend seminars, right? Pick role models and go through their biographies for that. Somebody has gone through this. One of the things that encouraged me a lot is biographies. I've studied biography of all the richest people in the world. And it strengthens me. Because I've seen that one of the ones that encouraged me a lot is John D. Rockefeller. When I see what he's been through, I'm like, okay, so I'm just on the right path. So when I face challenges, I'm telling myself, I'm just on the right path. That's why you see me on my office here. All these people, these are their young pictures. Cosmos Maduka is the one beside Dangote at the top there. And it's intentional to say, imagine how they look. So it's to say it's a process. Because many of us know people when they've arrived or they are now at a higher point. Like people look at me now and they are judging based on now. No, you need to judge me how I looked 10 years ago, how I looked 12 years ago, where I was then. And that will automatically give you hope that you're just on a journey and that just giving more time, you'll be better than I am.
That's true. And it's true. What was the mindset shift you advise anybody to start doing for them to start seeing life differently and to know that they can be able to make something out of their life?
There's no devil or witch or witchcraft chasing you. You're your greatest enemy. And you're your greatest strength and partner. You with God, nothing you can do. And I can assure you, God has voted already. God is on your side day one.
From day one.
It may not look like it, but He's on your side. It's the day you are committed. You know, a lot of us fail to realize the power of self-determination, self-will. When a man makes up his mind, he wants to achieve something, nothing is stopping him or her. If you look at the story of the Tower of Babel, God said, and nothing that they have decided. God,
yes.
Talking about men,
that they won't be able to achieve.
God, So you see how funny this is? That we don't even see ourselves the way God sees us. Like, even God has more respect for mortals than they have in themselves.
And believe in what we can do. And it's true, some will just say they don't believe in God and they just want to do their things. There are many other people that
It doesn't even matter whether you believe in God or not. What we're saying is that God respects you. That's powerful.
And it's indeed very powerful. So as we round up now, please, what was the final words or advice you have to share to people or to entrepreneurs on how...
Go chase greatness. Just go. Go. Enough of talking. Enough of I want to be. I'm planning to be. Go. You see, everybody can give up on you, but you cannot give up on yourself. You dare not give up on you. Right? You dare not. So go. It's a process. It won't be overnight. Enjoy the process. Love the process. And greatness awaits.
Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you
so
for
much.
having me.
I appreciate this. So guys, thank my
I wish I can stay longer. I'm running to the airport.
Observe that. Guys, thank my guest, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, for this very impactful session. And it's very powerful. I believe you have been impacted on this because of our time, and it has become like this. So maybe some other time we'll look for a better time, sit down and also discuss much better. But thank our guests for this very impactful session. I don't know if you'd like to share people, maybe to reach out to you, mentorship or things like that or anything.
Well, social media, my website, all our programs are there across at Dr. Stephen Akintayo on Instagram, at Dr. S. Akintayo on YouTube. I have over 2,000 videos on YouTube. So people who say they want mentorship, go there. If you can digest my YouTube video, you don't blow.
If you want to get your books as well? Huh?
Yeah, on our website, stevenakintayo.com.
Okay, Stevenakintayo.com.
Yes, or stevenakintayouniversity.com is also. We've put all our video courses there, because my mentors, Grant Cardone, Robert Kiyosaki, John Maxwell, all of them are there.
Any other information you wanted to know?
That's all.
That's all. So guys, that is it. You have heard from Stephen Akintayo on this episode of Selahmeditate. It's the first time I'm coming to this channel. We do our best to bring captains of industries like this. So if you appreciate this effort, do well to hit the like button, share this video with people, and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to also turn on the post notifications. So like each time I bring up new content, you're one of the first to get notified. I remember Benzik, and this has been really impactful. And thank our guest once again, Dr. Stephen Akintayo.
Thank you.
And I'm going to see you next time. So thanks for watching. Cheers.